Coming up next on Real Estate Cheddar, we have author Walter Collins.
But first, let's watch this intro.
Let's go. All right, everybody, welcome to Real Estate Cheddar. I'm Larry B.
And I'm Nellie G.
We're here today with Walter Collins. What's going on, Walter?
All good things, man. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good stuff, good stuff. So let's get it. You're a real estate agent.
Yes, sir.
We're here at the Real Estate Cheddar podcast. You are also an author. That's pretty cool.
It's crazy to even keep hearing that. I'm starting to get used to it, though. Say it again.
Yeah, right?
You're an author.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and dedication to write a book.
How long was this in the making?
Well, 13 years to be exact. From the time I saw the title, I knew what the title was going to be of the book, but I procrastinated over and over again. So it took me 13 years to actually get it done.
And then from the time that you decided now is the time, what was that time frame like?
It was very short. When I actually decided to hunker down, get it done, I mean, it was probably 2 months of consistency, time at the lake, time in my basement in the office, and just, we got to get this done. And it's time for you to stop being silent, which is obviously the title of the book, and get it done. And that's what we did.
So no longer silent. Tell us what that means to you.
Wow. So no longer silent. It was a title that was dropped. I say it was dropped into my spirit. It wasn't something that I came up with. I'm not that creative. I don't look at myself as some creative person, but I do know how to follow direction. And I saw the title, like I said, about 13 years ago. Didn't know what all the content would be, but I knew it would be something that speaks to my past and the way that I grew up and how I was always silenced and what it meant for me to start using my voice and finding my voice first. You can't use something that you haven't found. So I had to find my voice first.
Yeah, I got to ask, why isn't your beautiful face on this book?
I've been asked that a few times. So the original picture was going to be me and my younger son, Braylon. And then it went from, well, I'll just use two of my pictures to, well, I don't want to put my picture out there. And much like I was hiding my voice, I was hiding my face also. And so that's why we ended up with the picture we ended up with, which I'm happy with. But I got that question more times than I can tell you about why didn't you just use your own picture? Why didn't you use your own face?
For real.
So
next time.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a sequel.
There is. And I actually was in conversation just talking to Nellie off camera about the idea of a prequel. And because this book was written the way it was written, and it was supposed to speak specifically to certain things about using your voice, figured it'd be a great idea to talk about what it looked like before I became no longer silent, and the story behind that and the stories behind that. So we'll be working on that very, very soon too.
That's exciting.
It is.
You know, the reason we thought about this and bringing you on the Real Estate Cheddar podcast is you always have a really good message. You're always a positive guy. And people don't realize how much being a real estate agent is a mindset, right?
It is.
And you have to have that good mindset and know where you're going to get there, you know. And so that was my kind of thought when you come on. The book just coming out, that was a good thing too. It made us something good to talk about. But, you know, real estate agents, I never realized when I got in the game, even for myself, how much it's in your head. And if you don't have that right mindset, and let me give you an example. If you take an agent that's desperate to pay their house payment, they push that desperate onto their clients, right?
Yes.
And when you do things like that, it makes people back up and not trust you as much.
Oh yeah, people feel it.
You know, you can't do things for your benefit. You have to do things for the benefit of the seller or the buyer you're working with. And, you know, so if you push them into a house that they kind of like, they're not going to, or try to, they're not going to trust you as much as if you say, hey, you know, I wouldn't buy this house if you don't feel it. I would wait for the right one to come around. Now, sometimes we have to give them advice of, for the money you want to spend, this is as good as it gets, right?
Sometimes you have to have hard conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's so many different ways to where being a real estate agent is a mindset that you have to be successful. And a lot of that goes back to no longer silent, of just like you said, hiding your face, hiding your image. Because reels, the more people you interact with, the more your properties are going to sell. And when I say interactions, people can feel a connection to you through a video,
Absolutely.
but they really can't through a text. So a lot of agents are scared to say the right things, to do the videos, to put it out there, and it can be a life changer for a real estate agent.
And I understand that everything always comes back to a conversation. No matter if you sent a piece of direct mail, if you did a Facebook reel, or if you made a phone call, eventually you got to have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
Correct.
And who you are is going to come out one way or the other. And this positive attitude that I have didn't just happen overnight. Anything can be trained if you practice it. And I've been practicing this for years. I've been studying for years. I've been reading for years. I've been working on me for years. If I can't look at myself in the mirror and believe the person that I see, no one else is going to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're talking about one of their biggest purchases, probably the biggest purchase of their life in real estate.
And that they're trusting you to guide them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I've noticed you will have a lot of sales after you post a video that is absolutely not about real estate. you post a video about a positive message, and then I noticed you'll have 3 or 4 sales. And a lot of your videos aren't reels. They're not 30 seconds. They're 10 minutes because you are a very spiritual man.
Absolutely.
And you spread that word. And when you do that, people realize that it makes them think about you. They know you're a real estate agent already, right? You don't have to tell them. But when you put a positive message out, it just makes them think of you. And a lot of times that'll get you referrals, or people that's been thinking about moving, maybe they'll call you. So, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing reels, and more power to them. And I do reels occasionally. But I only know how to do one thing, and that's be me.
Yeah.
And I think too many people hide behind this false reality of who they are or who they should be, instead of just being who they are. Again, eventually people are going to have to talk to you.
Yep.
And they're going to have to stand in front of you. And I want the same person that they saw on video or they talked to on the phone to be who they meet when I show up.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's key.
And so many people are scared to put that video out there. And I tell them, it's like, these people, they know what you look like, right? Why are you so scared to make a video? But that's the big difference in real estate, making the phone calls, making the videos, making the connections. You know, we talk about the more people you interact with, the more sales you're going to get. You could go knock on 50 doors in a day, but you might do a 5-minute video that gets 10,000 views. So which way do you win on this? You know, the old days of mailers and door knocking is about over. Not saying you can't get deals like that.
Right.
You can, but it's all about time. You're spending your time the right way, and you always have a great message online. You always really tell people, you know, be yourself, do the right things in life, and good things will happen to you. And I love that message you have.
Yeah, and I just didn't do enough of it and haven't done enough of it. Just the point of actually doing videos and putting yourself out there and knowing that you have something to say and you are somebody that people can trust. You're in this world of people that are constantly putting out videos and constantly putting out these false images. And I had to get over myself, and I'm still getting over myself constantly, that I do have something to say, and I am a genuine person. I may not be the person that works with you, but I'm gonna tell you the truth about what I can do and what I can't. And I can live with it if you don't work with me.
We talked about this before we got on, but you haven't. There's so much negative on the internet,
My
and
goodness.
just putting out a positive word can
Change
bring
someone's day.
Yeah, not only can it change somebody's day, it can change your day. You know, make people realize that there is good people in this world, and maybe if you're thinking about doing something in real estate, that might be the person to call. Not that that's why you put the message out, and I know you don't. Most of your messages that you put out have zero to do with real estate. But if there's benefits to that, there is benefits to that. And like you said, when you wrote this book, if this book gets to one person, the right person that needs to hear it, and it changes their life, that did what you planned on doing, right?
Yeah, it's like truth. Anyway, one person speaking the truth is the majority. One person with the right message can be the majority, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
And as long as they are talking the right thing, facts can change. It's like if we pulled up a news story about what happened recently in the news about a person being shot, the facts of that are going to change constantly, depending on what news outlet you look at, what social media you
Who you're
post,
listening to.
who you're listening to. So, well, if everyone's facts can change, you got to figure out what the truth is.
Yes.
And discovering what the truth is and putting that message out, I get dubbed as Mr. Positivity, and I appreciate that, but it's just not hard to find negative. You can find that anywhere. So
Yeah.
you won't hear me speaking it.
I love it. More people. I wish more people would put out a positive message like you do. It could change the whole internet, right? Everybody's, it's quick to people that are mad to jump up and make a reel, say this, I was wrong, and this is why, and but when people are having a great day and they have a great message, they're not so quick to share that.
Well, because negativity sells, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what fills the news feed. That's what leads the news broadcast. Negativity sells.
Yeah, and she says I spend too much time online. I know I do. And sometimes it will get your head in a negative way.
It does.
It's not a good thing.
It absolutely does. It
You
keeps
know?
it keeps your anger up because all you see is people, arguing about something that you have a little bit of knowledge about, but then you jump on their side like, we're not you. But in general, that's why people love negativity. They want it band together and,
Yeah.
So
we're going to challenge everybody that's watching this. Go out and post a positive post. Post a positive reel.
hold the door for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smile.
This world-
Somebody waved at me in a Tesla the other day, and I was like, I was so caught off. And now today I was like, every Tesla I see, I'm going to wave with a big old smile because it caught me off guard, but it made me feel happy. I was like, oh, that was so nice.
And it
It's a
costs you
wave.
nothing.
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 It costs you nothing but a moment. And just to wake up and your feet touch the ground, thank you.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you for another day. Let me post about the fact that I woke up again and I got good health and I can see and I can hear and I can listen to the birds in the air and something positive is happening in your life. You don't have to spew all the junk all the time.
Amen.
That lake, I used to tell Darren that before he bought his place, when I hit WK, all my stress goes away. And when I hit 65, it all comes back. Find your happy place. Like you said, you wrote a lot of this book down there, and that's because it is very relaxing. It's a place you can ease your mind, you can think about things. That's been good for me, but find your spot.
Yeah, I remember it was Memorial Day back in May, and I was sitting down there and I was tightening up the book at the time, and I was reflecting on how I grew up. And I'm sitting there looking at God's creation and looking at the lake, which is beautiful on the morning out there at Neverland, and it just started bringing tears to my eyes. And I'm like, the fact that I've come from what I've come from, this don't have anything to do with money. It don't have anything to do about amount of houses that I've sold. But I'm sitting here healthy, being able to stare at this lake in peace when there's bombs going off in the
Oh
world.
gosh, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
People can't enjoy the life we enjoy.
And in Detroit, to me, is such it's a tough city.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone through some major changes and had the automotive world was there, and then they left, and it left Detroit in a struggle. And I think it's coming back. I think they're making a movement to come back, but I feel like, dang, Detroit compared to Nolan.
It's night and
like
day.
yeah.
But Detroit is the perfect example of what you just described of Walter Lavelle Collins. What you just described, that's my story. It's been through some things. but he's coming back, and he's coming back stronger than ever
Heck yeah.
because he's figured out who he is, and he's got a story to tell, and he's no longer going to be silent about it. So
That's fantastic.
You know, a whole lot of people have an amazing life. Spread your joy, spread the word, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't just go on social media when you got something bad to say. Spread that positive message. We try to do that on our social media, and I really do for the most part. I get frustrated sometimes like anybody else, but I'd say 90% of our message is pretty positive. And, you know, that was the big reason we wanted you on, because so many people in this world, I feel like, are struggling with that.
even meeting you a few years ago, you know, I remember when we first sat down and grabbed lunch at Drake's.
Yeah.
And I didn't come to partner up with you at the time, but I liked who was in front of me. I'm like, this guy's real. He has the knowledge of the industry. And you weren't talking like everybody else that was interviewing me from brokerages. And that's part of why I wanted to partner up with you and get to know you. And I've not regretted it a day. I remember even looking up at my mother's funeral and seeing you two walking there.
Yes.
I didn't even know you knew that it was happening. But it just speaks to who you are as people and the genuineness behind people. It's got nothing to do with how many properties I sold. But I'll never forget that day. I'm telling, and we've never even talked about this until this moment.
Yeah.
I was having, obviously, I'm at my mother's funeral. I was having some tough time, and I look up, and there's Nellie and Larry coming through the door. And I'm just like, man, this is awesome. And I'll never forget that.
Funerals are important.
You have to support your people.
Yeah.
So the world has forgotten that. And
I think just the funeral, like the idea of a funeral in general has kind of gone by the wayside. And if you don't have that closure, if you don't have that place for everyone to come and pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be okay, it's kind of sad, you know, if you don't have that. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful
I remember
service.
every face
Yeah.
from that funeral. Every face. I remember the conversations, and it's amazing how that sticks with you.
take your friends and build them up. You will see, you'll all grow together. And this world, you got so many, you hear these stories every day about, you know, people not taking care of each other. But it's your group of people you're in can change your whole world. Yeah. And if your people aren't supporting you, if they're dragging you down, if they're doing drugs, you need to find a new group of people, right? You know, and so I was you. I grew up very poor. I grew up in a bad end of town. People didn't support each other. They didn't do the right things. And I had to learn this myself. And I still struggle every day. You know, I try to be a better man. But the one thing I've always worked on is trying to be better to my people. Absolutely. And I still get it. I couldn't tell you how many people out there I've gave a career. I've taught them how to make huge money. I've done so many things for them. And 2 years later, they stab you in the back. It happens all the time. I'm not going to be them people. I try to do better every day. Life's a struggle, but if you got a team, it helps. So the next time your friend needs you, run to them and help them out.
Show up.
Absolutely. And what does this have to do with real estate? Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the genuineness of, this is who I am when I'm standing in front of people. Mm-hmm. You can trust me. Mm-hmm. You can trust me to sell your house. Mm-hmm. You can trust me to lead you in the right direction when we're looking at houses together. It's everything to people. If you're wondering, well, what does the conversation have to do? Well, it's everything, because you're talking about people. Real estate isn't about the property, it's about the person.
Absolutely.
And the people that actually look at it that way don't have any issues with it.
Yes. Yep. You're right. You're helping that person. And if you don't get involved, I couldn't tell you how many people we've sold houses to that we're like still friends with, or we've sold their house. You get attached to some of these people, and you know, they become awesome friends.
Yeah, they sure do. There's, you know, you're talking to the family or the couple or the single person every day almost for 45 to 90 days. And then the closing happens, and then it's like silence. I'm like, I always try to reach out. I always try to text, because I go into like a lull, almost a depression. Like, where's my friend go? My daily conversation, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. The two worlds of real estate, and even writing this book, collided for me because one of the guys that I help with 2 properties now, he messaged me. He's like, man, I saw that you wrote a book. I bought 6 of them. I'm like, 6? What are you going to do with it? He was like, I figured I could get some to hand out to people.
Yeah.
But I had no idea because this was somebody I worked with through real estate. I'm like, so you just never know. And as long as you do the right things by people, and I'm very thankful that I have a great word and great reputation in the community with people.
I was going to say, evidently you made a good impression with that person, right? When you sold them the real estate. So that's why they bought 6 of your books. And that's where this world needs to get to more. The good words, the good backing, being the friend that you want, you know. You can't have lifelong friends if you don't learn to forgive a little bit and you don't grow with them and let them grow with you. You know, if I learn something that helps me in life, I'm going to tell it to everybody. And I believe you're the same way. And that good message is what helps.
Yeah, and even, you know, the subtitle of the book of Unlocking the Power of Your Voice, I was having a conversation with someone at a conference, and he made a comment about struggling with some things and some conversations. And I'm like, are you going to be here tomorrow? And because as soon as he said it, I saw a line in the book that I'm like, this will help him. And I brought one of the books for him to give him. I could care less about selling a bunch of books, but I know I wrote something that can help people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I handed that to him, and I haven't heard anything back yet, but it's just being able to be a blessing to people. And I believe this is.
Well, it's like I told you, when I read the book, I had to stop. Like I read it and I stopped. And I'm like, that's a lot to take in. So then I sat there for a while, and I've gone back to it multiple times and finding where you said, you know, silence is golden. And I was talking to him about it. I'm like, there's so much to this book. It's not like you're going to read it from front to back and put it down and never look at it again. I've picked it up 3 or 4 times since just to look, just to go through it. It's very nice. You did
The
a very
goal
good
was
job.
for it to be simple, easy to read for anyone, whether they had a spiritual foundation or not, and also for it not to be long.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be something that's easily digestible too. And I believe just from the feedback that I've been getting that it kind of hit where it's supposed to hit. But again, it took me a long time just to get there. It's amazing to me that this title that I saw 13 years ago, I still remained silent in that process of writing the book, which why it jumps off the page to you, because it's specifically coming from someone that was that
Yeah.
and has lived that, and realizing that people struggle with this a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do. Grab that book, hold it up. Walter Collins, thank you for coming on. Real Estate Cheddar. It's me, LarryB.com. Check us out. If you need a house around the Louisville area, search Walter Collins, real estate agent. He'll help you out. No More Silent. Pick it up on Amazon.
No
I think
longer.
it's about
No
longer
longer.
silent.
No more, no longer.
No longer.
Maybe that could be your prequel. No More
There you
Silent.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
No Longer Silent. Pick it up on Amazon. I'm sure it's about everywhere, huh? Where else can they get it?
Amazon and Kindle. So it's paperback or through the Kindle app also.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Check it out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Real
Walter.
Estate Cheddar. It's me, LarryB.com. Check us out. Thanks, Walter.
Thank
Thanks
you guys for
coming,
having
man.
me. It's
Thank
been
you,
awesome.
thank you,
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
And me, Larry B. Media. Hooray!